It's Tyson and Scott, All-American Rejects, but also the new project, Now More Than Ever, which I'm excited to talk about. Thank you for coming by during a hurricane. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Nicole, she wasn't as saucy as everyone said she
No,
would
not
be.
as saucy as Ian.
I did see the tragic loss of some frontage houses.
Yeah.
Some beachfront property.
Yeah, that did look bad.
That's a really weird thing when it's like just a bunch of really, really rich people losing their houses.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just rich people affected in this one thing.
Especially if they're not in the house at the time.
Devastation down the coast. We've lost 12 beachfront houses. Sorry, I'm going to.
Were they in it? No. They have insurance.
Was anybody in it? No, of course they were in their winter home down in the tropics. They didn't even know that their house was.
We're 2 seconds in, and Ty's trying to start a class war.
I know. No,
I like it. It is interesting, though.
We made
you go to rich areas, and if you drive around the neighborhood, it is kind of creepy because nobody's ever there because they have, I guess, I'm not rich, obviously, but they have other houses in other places.
Yeah, I have a rich friend, and I always ask him where he's going because you always want someone else to invite you to the home.
Oh, yeah. You always need a friend with a boat.
A boat.
Yeah.
A second home.
Yeah, a truck. Big truck.
So you don't own a boat?
A harem. Huh?
Do you own a boat?
No. Hell no.
It seems like a lot of work, right?
Yeah, no. I own a boatload of hit songs.
There it is. Whoa! Interview over.
How do you like
Not
that?
gonna get any better than that.
I can't drop the mic because I'm not even touching it because I'm floating.
Don't worry,
above everything.
It's gonna fall soon. Don't worry. On its own. So I want to go way back. At what age did you realize that? All right, I'm gonna do this music thing. I'm not gonna sit in a cubicle. Music is my path.
Yeah, like I think as a child, I was a product of a divorced family, and I gravitated towards what the cool kids in school in my little small town of Stillwater, Oklahoma. What they were like, the cool kids had guitars that Christmas, and I was a poor little Oklahoma boy. Yeah. And so I bought a banjo off my uncle for $50, and I strung it like a guitar, and I learned to play like Interstate Love Song by the Stone Temple Pilots, and I was like hooked. And it's funny, with the first record that we did for the Rejects, there's this feeling when you do your first record, and it's like that feeling of that genesis of your hunger for this craft, this thing of music.
It's like a mixture, right? The hunger, the passion, the fear.
And it's also knowing that the best thing you got as a songwriter, and this is knowing nothing. Like the only way that you can do what you're gonna do and really surprise yourself is if you do not just map out what your craft is going to be. Don't expect anything from it. And with Now More Than Ever, this new band we started, Scotty and I, like that was the purpose of sitting down and making this music. Yeah. Was we actually wanted to like try to get back to that place where, and for me it was being alone in a trailer house and writing my first song lyrics while I was on the toilet, because I remember like, because it just flows out of you, man.
Yeah, it really does.
When you're in the moment, it just springs forth from you.
The music and the toilet.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you meant originally. I'm an idiot.
Well, when it's called a flow state. No, so with Now More Than Ever, and especially the song "Don't Rush," this was like the first. Was this the first song?
I think so, yeah.
This is the first songs like that we wrote for this band, and when this happened, it was like electric. And what I didn't get from the All-American Rejects, the last couple records, especially being on a major label, was that feeling that we were doing something that was pure and unbastardized by the outside hand. And so what we have is a sweet little project, man. We're so excited about it.
By the way, that's a really hard feeling to capture again. I mean, maybe once in a lifetime that happens, but when it happens twice, that's huge, and you got to seize it, right?
Totally, man. And I think about my favorite artists when they had those epiphanies throughout their career that you thought when Jefferson Airplane turned into when Jefferson Starship, or when people from the Byrds ended up being everybody that they became. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny. The first thing that you were a part of can be your introduction, and that's kind of how I feel about the Rejects. Is that was a really nice long introduction for me to the culture and climate of putting out music in this world. And now that we're here, it's like. It feels different, you know. So
when you get together, everything just starts going, right?
Yeah.
Like writing the music when you're in the studio. What's that like?
Yeah, totally. I mean, we just kind of we started it, like Ty said, trying to get back to that feeling of being 14 and in your room, and no A&R guy like breathing over your shoulder, no like marketing person being like, oh, you need it, you know, whatever it is. It's just us left to our own devices, expressing ourselves. So yeah, when we get in the room together, we just like totally flow, and you know, we'll get on a keyboard and like find some cool chords, or Ty comes in with cool lyrics, or like whatever it is, or Izzy has a cool guitar part,
and we just start from that. And I think it's important to say that we're a band that writes all their own songs solely. All the bands I grew up listening to, that's the way it worked.
Yeah, not anymore, right?
It wasn't. Yeah, man. Like, I never got into that, like Linda Perry co-writing stuff. You know, that wasn't my favorite Aerosmith record or Bon Jovi. Like, I liked the records that came from the band, because that was where the magic was.
And you could actually feel it, even as a listener.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I hope people that listen to this station like can call the BS on that might flow through any of the stations they listen to, because it's in such high quantity right now. Because every band you listen to that's probably popular, look at the writing credits on these songs. Like it's like a movie critic. It's like a rap record, dude. There's 12 writers on some of these crappy pop punk rock records, or just crappy little pop songs.
How do you become a good songwriter? Sorry to interrupt you.
I don't know. Scotty does it a lot. I don't do it as often as Scotty.
I think just doing it every single day for years on it. I mean, like, even if you write just a little something every single day, you will get better. And staying inspired, I think, is a huge thing. Yeah. And and having something to write about, having some life experience. Like, don't just be in a studio all day, every day of your life, because then you have nothing to write about besides like knobs and buttons. Like, go like have a relationship, and you know, like make mistakes and live life, travel.
Let's go back to actually original songwriting. I mean, original. Do you remember the first songs that you wrote, or the first music you wrote as a kid or as a teen?
Yeah, I started on piano, so I just would make like little A minor jams when I was a kid, and then I got really into lyrics and would do like poetry and try to combine the two, and it was all pretty terrible, but.
Yeah.
Scotty's like an actual artist. He's actually like thoughtful and stuff. Everything I do, I'd say is not from me. I've never consciously. Anytime I've ever thought about something that I'm doing, considering, like, for example, like some of the big songs that we've written, like "Gives You Hell." That song was something I was making fun of doing it. Like, I was literally like. We just got to Canada, and we were upstairs in some, apartment, and we were there for 2 weeks, and I just sat down, and by like 5 p.m. that night, we were drunk on Molson doing a gang vocal on the demo, and it was because we didn't consider it. Yeah. The moment you consider what you're doing is the moment you're already becoming a critic of yourself. So never consider what you do as a songwriter. Just get it out every day, like Scott says. Yeah.
So with Now More Than Ever, the new group, by the way, the new single's awesome. I know you have a full album coming out in March. Is it March?
Yep. 17th, I believe.
The new single, what is it called again?
It's called Don't Rush, Don't Wait.
I was telling you on the way up here, I think I listened to it on repeat 8 times. Then my wife came in and she's like, what's that? I told her, she's like, oh my God, really? And we listened to it a few more times. It's a great song. It's uplifting, but it also makes you think about life. It's a good feeling when you hear the song. It's a good feeling.
The band's sole mission is fun. Like, we wanted to have fun together. We missed fun from the part of our lives, being songwriters, especially daily songwriters in LA, stuff like that. It's such a job to put yourself into. So yeah, the result is, I think you can hear our fun, man. Like it's a band that's just solely purposed to have fun.
Yeah, we're not taking it too seriously, and like the video shows that too.
Well, everything in the world is so serious right now, dude.
Yeah.
Everything, and the music has become that too, a reflection of the culture that we live in, right? Like when that sad whisper pop comes out and it stays around for a long time, like through the pandemic, like I feel like the world is ready to like dance again
and relax.
And now more than ever is here to make you dance. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it, man. Don't think of it. Don't think any further than that.
So I shouldn't dig deeper and be like, could you tell me the meaning behind don't rush,
Depth,
don't wait?
Don't rush. It's right there on the surface for you to grab, man.
Yeah.
Like, take your moment, but don't rush it.
Now, sounds like there's nothing but love and passion behind this band, obviously. What do you think connects you three? What do you think it is specifically? Is it your differences?
I think it's celestial.
Yeah?
I honestly believe these three guys, especially if you met Izzy, our guitarist, man, he is an alien. I think we're all three neurotics in our own way that just happen to like get to make music for a living. And the fact that we like don't take that, like we take, when we put a song out, it's like an offering, dude. It's not, and it's not just to offering to you folk, like to it's like, this is a serious thing for us, because every song that we write now, we're conscious of, you know what I mean? When you're a kid, you're not conscious of the music you're making. You're just like, boom, that whole first record was like, that's the first 12 songs we wrote. And now it's like, I don't know, if you put out a song, you are stamped. That is more than just a rubber stamp, man. That is like a crested seal saying, I'm proud of this and I choose to share. That's a huge responsibility. I don't know. Like, what do you feel at all like the same about that?
Yeah,
He just goes, no.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. No.
Fucking wrong, yeah.
No, I feel you, but I like how you described us getting together. We are like in our own heads about certain things, and I think that's what makes us great. Is like we are totally different. We have completely different focuses in music, but they all come together in a beautiful way, and we all have a shared goal of having fun and just like leaving all that, because we've been through so many facets of the business, all of us. We've all just been like working in this industry for decades or whatever, and we wanted to forget all of that together and just make music.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a way to change the music industry as a whole, from the whole A&R and major label perspective?
I mean, it's changing. Like, it's the last dinner on the Titanic right now.
Yeah.
For a record company in the, alabaster ivory tower sort of definition, where you're like, oh, Capitol Records is where we got to walk our record into Capitol Records. Well, they just closed the doors on Capitol Records, boys and girls. So the record industry is changing, and it's changing in a way that I never had a chance to come up in, which is so exciting. You see independent artists everywhere making it without any support of a record label. I'm like, the world is opened up for artists now. It's incredible.
But the record labels are knocking on their doors. Are you in the background going, don't do it? Don't do it.
Dude, if anything, social media has made the record companies' jobs 10 times easier, and now they're making 10 more bags of cash. So, great. Good for them.
Would you ever, down the road, want to start your own record label, or was that kind of way out?
We did for this record, man.
Technically did.
Yeah.
We started our own label called Creatrix Records. Creatrix is the name of the album coming out. Mm-hmm. So we partnered up with these people, 30 Tigers, their distro company, and we're the label technically.
Yeah.
So
technically, we are responsible for ourselves every day now.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good thing, right?
There's no handler.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
Yeah. It sounds good. It sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like a breath of fresh air finally.
Oh yeah, no, it's well, and breathing in this climate again, it's like when you don't need record companies and we get to jump into sweet little booths in Orlando and beat the old war drum for this thing.
Now, this is way off topic, kind of. Your new single, the new video on YouTube, I noticed it's space themed. Is that chosen because you specifically have a passion for space?
Who doesn't dig space?
I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. This is a selfish thing. I love space.
We do too.
I have a huge telescope. I'm all into looking at the moon and Jupiter. I can't get enough.
We're actually struggling right now because we're getting ready to shoot our second video, and like there's this like crux of, do we keep the story going? Because in the video for Don't Rush, we're in a spaceship and we're barreling towards Earth to save it, hopefully. So the idea is either, do we continue this or do we just start making really unique individual music videos?
Yeah.
I love space, dude. Yeah.
Awesome.
And we're like I said, and it was a perfect alien comparison because we belonged in space for this genesis of this band.
Yeah, and I think it totally just made all of us have so much fun dressing up and play. Yeah, totally. It's like that was the point of the music, and then that's gonna carry over into the videos of just like we got to play dress up and be in a spaceship, and it's rad.
Totally.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty cool to see a video where you're flying through space, right?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was kind of nerding out about the music, the video, and space at the same time. It was a great experience. Now more than ever, we have 2023 right around the corner. Time flies, right? It seems like just yesterday All American Rejects began, and now here we are in 2022. What happened, right?
Crazy. A long trip. Many trips around the sun.
And space.
And
space.
Yep.
And so what's the plan? I know a new album's coming out. Hopefully touring.
Yeah, we're going to do a little spring run, or hoping to, now more than ever. More singles coming out before the end of the year. Just freaking get out on that dance floor.
Definitely. I love what I've heard so far. I was searching around, seeing if anybody leaked anything new. Nobody's leaked anything new from y'all, besides you guys on the YouTube channel. But I'm looking for.
We're the label, so we.
Yeah,
that's right.
You're gonna know who leaks.
No test pressings. No CD leaks.
Now more than ever, the new album's coming out in March. The new single right now, "Don't Rush, Don't Wait," is on YouTube. I really appreciate y'all coming by.
Oh yeah. Hey,
seriously, thank you. Never got in my long radio career. I've never got to meet you all. It's kind of weird. So it's great finally getting to meet you. And
great to meet you.
And thanks for coming out during a storm.
Hey, man. Yeah. It's worth it.
Stay safe out there.